Give a big round of applause for Dana White.
What's up, gang? Any questions for me? Because I'm tired.
Hey, Dana in the back over here.
Yeah.
Straight in the back. Just, can you assess Conor's performance in your opinion? Did he do better than you thought? Was this what you saw in training at the Performance Institute?
Yeah, no, I'm so proud of Conor tonight, man. You know, it's not the fight that I thought it was going to be. It was a completely different fight than I expected. You know, Conor, when you get into professional boxing, right? And, you know, you guys know you start 4 rounds, you fight 6 rounds. He went 10 rounds tonight with arguably the greatest to ever do it. Max Kellerman, I've been trying to get a hold of him. He ain't answering his phone right now, but he said that Conor wouldn't land 1 punch on Floyd Mayweather. You know, there were a lot of people that were super negative about, you know, this boxing match with Floyd, and Conor looked unbelievable. I'm sure you guys probably already saw this, but if you didn't, the CompuBox numbers were in 9 of Floyd Mayweather's fights where it went 12 rounds, his opponents hit him with less than 100 punches. Conor hit him with 111 in less than 10 rounds. So it was a great fight. I'm really proud of Conor.
And Dana, just to follow up on that a little bit, given how well he did in the fight, you know, against a long guy, if he chose to box again, would you endorse that and would you work with him on it?
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Kevin?
I just said if he chose to box again, given how well he did, would you endorse that and work with him on that?
I would rather he did not. You know, this isn't what he does. He's a mixed martial artist where he goes in and he fights and he uses all of his weapons, and tonight he was only allowed to use his hands. I think he did great tonight. I don't think there's anything else left to prove. I would rather he fight in mixed martial arts.
Dana, I guess just to kind of follow up on that, let's not talk about Conor McGregor specifically. I mean, this was a special, unique event. Would you be open to entertaining the idea of ever doing this, a cross-promotional bout like this again?
I'm ready to get back to the UFC and do what I do, you know. These guys were amazing to work with. No bullshit, you know me. These guys were awesome. The Team Mayweather, Al Heyman, much respect. These guys were, you know, like I said, I was expecting something completely different coming in to work with these guys because of how long it took to make the Pacquiao fight. But I can tell you it wasn't this side. That I can promise you. These guys have been fantastic.
And of course, the question on every UFC fan's mind is when is Conor McGregor going to step back in the octagon? I know it's early, but have you had a chance to speak with him at all? I mean, any indication of what should and could come next for him in the UFC?
Yeah, I've been back there with him pretty much this whole time, and we're not talking about fighting tonight. You know, he put on a great performance. We're not talking about fighting. You know how he is, man. When he's ready, he'll let me know.
Dana over here. What's your response after the event tonight to people who said this was going to be a circus, that it would be a farce?
Yeah, you know, you have to have negative people, man. When you're doing stuff like this, it creates the debate and the back and forth. But I knew Conor McGregor's a fighter, you know, and we saw a fight tonight. I don't know if tonight was the best boxing you've ever seen, but we saw a fight. And I mean, Conor was in here landing jabs on Floyd Mayweather. He was hitting him with right hands. He hit him with a big uppercut, hitting him with nice body shots. Conor McGregor looked damn good tonight to me. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I thought he looked awesome, and I'm proud of him.
Do you think your heavyweight champion, Stipe Miocic, would do well in a boxing match?
I don't even want to talk about my other guys in a boxing match. This was one of those, you know, 2 big superstars. This thing built from the bottom up, from the fans to the media, and then up to us when we even started remotely considering something like this. And it was just a real special event and a rare event. I'm not looking to do this again.
Hey, Dana, straight back. Straight back, all the way back.
Yeah.
Considering that he did as well as he did tonight against Floyd, what do you think would have been the case if he had started out like a regular boxer, where you mentioned before guys going to 4 rounds, 6 rounds? Tonight he went 10 with Floyd Mayweather. Had he had some experience and not just come in on his pro debut, how much better do you think he would have been able to perform?
Yeah, I think for a lot of the people here today that are big boxing guys and have never liked MMA or whatever the deal might be, Conor McGregor is a rare, special individual, man. He's an incredible fighter. He's willing to put everything on the line. It's like I say all the time, without any risk, there is no great reward. You must, you know, the greats always risk. And Conor McGregor is that guy. He's a very special individual. I think if he would have started boxing, he'd have probably been very well. I mean, how can we even debate it? How can we even talk about it? He just went 10 rounds, 10 really good rounds with Floyd Mayweather.
Hey, Dana, off to your right here. To your right.
Yep.
How you doing? Conor's purse this evening was 10 times the size of his biggest disclosed purse in the UFC. Do you expect that to cause you problems in negotiations in the future?
No. Listen, if our fights do what the guys did here tonight in the gate, we'll all be good, trust me. Nobody will be bitching about anything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Dana, to your left. To your left, corner, right here.
Hey.
Champ Creed, Fox Sports Radio. So before the fight today, it was announced that Top Ring Boxing is doing a deal with Disney for their library, distribution, and one of the things that was mentioned in the article was that they made an overture to you guys to see if they could incorporate a deal. And we've seen you with the Zuffa Boxing, McGregor Boxing Club. Is there anything that you know of on high that will include boxing into the portfolio of what you guys have going on with the UFC?
You know, I never say never. I've said never before, and I was wrong. I wanted to get through this fight, get this fight behind us. And first of all, I want to get back to business, doing what I do, which is the UFC. And I don't know, I would never say never, but it's not something I'm thinking about right now.
Okay, and conversely, Leonard, now that you see the numbers that the UFC brought with their digital media infrastructure that helped boost the social media attention, the views, and the ticket sales, do you foresee yourself and Al Heyman, for Leonard Edelby, do you foresee yourself and Al Heyman dipping your feet in a pool of MMA, whether it be, you know, something under the PBC brand or the TMT brand?
Was that to him?
Yeah, that was for Leonard.
Who said?
I mean, I'll ask it again.
UFC is and all the fans that came in and all the big social media push that we had behind us. Do you see yourself getting into MMA?
We're always open to doing anything if it makes business sense. You know, we're very good at what we do, and we're gonna continue doing our thing.
Dana, I was talking to some other UFC people before the fight, even before the fight, and they were saying what this has done in bringing fans, you know, attention to the UFC is probably the best thing about this fight. Do you agree with that point? Elaborate.
Say it again. What was the question?
I mean, other than Conor's strong showing tonight, even before the fight, some of the UFC officials I was talking to said the great thing about this fight is that it's bringing so many new fans to your sport, and it will do that. Is that the same way you feel?
I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. The way that I look at fights and the way that I look at fighting is, we're going to have fights that we put on that are for the hardcore UFC fans. We're going to have some fights that will do better than that, and then we'll have some fights that are big, where we do the Diaz-Conor 1.5 million, you know, these type of things. It takes two very special people in the right place and the right time to do the freakish kind of numbers and the water cooler talk and all the things that this fight had. You got to have the right people in the right place at the right time. This shit doesn't happen all the time. You know what I mean? This has happened twice. It's happened twice.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for none other than Floyd Mayweather.
Here we go again. I don't know what to say. I know we've been doing this for 21 years. I told you guys I'd come straight ahead. So, you know, with coming straight ahead, I was going to take some contact. I could have sat back and just boxed and counterpunched and made it boring. I didn't want to do that. I feel like I owe the fans a last hurrah. So I went out there, and that was the game plan. Me and my dad communicated before we went out there. The whole game plan was to go out there and let him shoot heavy shots from the beginning, take him down the stretch, and do what we do best. And that's what we did tonight. We had a cool training camp. You know, I didn't box for the last month. I didn't do no sparring. But, you know, there's no excuses. He came out here. He fought a hell of a fight, a hell of a stand-up guy, and I went out there and just did what I do best. Found a way to trap him and broke him down. And, you know, I want to say congratulations to my team, strong team. I got a real strong team. I've been working on my team for a lot of years. You know, I've been knowing Dana White for 21 years since I came to Las Vegas. And I'm one of the first guys that believed in Dana White before anybody believed in Dana White. I was one of the first guys to give Dana White a chance when nobody wanted to give him a chance. Dana, thank you. And Leonard Ellaby, you know, CEO of Mayweather Promotions. We don't always see eye to eye, but at the end of the day, we always get great results, and we get the job done. Me and my father, we don't always see eye to eye, but we always get great results, and that's really what it's about. You know, my publicist, Kelly Swanson, CBS, Showtime, Steven Espinoza. I mean, there's so many people I want to thank. You know, the CEO of the UFC, you know, the fans from Ireland that came over, and all the media, the MMA media, the boxing media, for covering this event. You know, I wanted to go out with a bang. I told you guys it'd be blood, sweat, and tears. And I told you he was a hell of a fighter standing up. Kind of shocked me. And I told my dad, it was something I was talking to my dad about, that me and him would keep amongst us, because certain things don't go out to the public, you know. But we had a game plan. Our game plan was to take our time, let him shoot all his heavy shots, keep walking him down, shoot heavy shots to the body, shoot big shots upstairs. And my dad thought it was going to be a little bit early, around the 7th or the 6th. But, you know, it took us a little longer than we expected, but we did what we said we was going to do. And I promise everybody, remember this. You know, I told you people, I guarantee you this fight wouldn't go the distance. I told you, I was going for the knockout, I was going straight ahead. And with going straight ahead, you're going to take contact. I understand that. But, you know, after 21 years in the sport of boxing, you know, I had some great fights, I had some boring fights. But at the end of the day, I will be always remembered as a winner, you know, no matter how you win, as long as you win. And I knew how to, I know how to dissect my opponent. I know how to go out there and break them down and just stick to the game plan.
Floyd, right straight in front of you.
What up, Kevin?
Congrats on the win. First, I have a couple questions. First, you mentioned you hadn't sparred the last month. Was it an injury, or why not?
It was an injury, of course. Not an injury like that, but I wanted my hands to be 100% for the fight. You know, I didn't want my hands is real brittle. You know, everybody knows that. I wanted my hands to be solid when I come out here. So when I'm shooting hard shots, you know, I'm able to break the guy down. Whereas if I were to box and I got a serious hand injury, I wouldn't be able to punch as hard.
My second question, though, is you leave. You were the biggest star. You sold the most pay-per-views, the most tickets. Where does boxing go from here after this? How do you generate the next level of stars? And who do you see as the guys who are going to be the ones selling the million pay-per-views and keep up the momentum that you have in 2017 in boxing?
Okay, I'm going to touch on that. I want to touch on that, Kevin, but I want to say something. We did break the record tonight for the biggest gate. Me and Pacquiao done 72 million. I think we done somewhere over 80 million, you know, for the live gate. We also on pay-per-view. It took us so long to come out for the fight. I know all the fans was anticipating, like, why you guys taking so long? The reason why we took so long is because the servers the pay-per-view server in California and in Florida crashed. So we want to make sure we get everything back in place, everything in the right place so that everybody can see pay-per-view and give everybody a show. And you asked me about who do I think is the next superstar in boxing. There's a lot of hell of a fighters out there. There's a lot of young lions out there, you won't see me in the ring no more, so any guy that's calling me out, forget it, I'm okay. I had a great career, I had a tremendous career. I'm proud of Badu Jack, I'm proud of Javante, Tank Davis, I'm proud of everybody that's under the Mayweather Promotions banner, and of course, I have to say I'm proud of Al Heyman, just being an advisor / manager, us being business partners, us communicating, us knowing one another for over a decade, and us, taking boxing to that next level, and Steven, and I can't thank Steven enough, and I can't thank Showtime enough or CBS just for believing in me. I had a, when I went to Showtime, I told Showtime, these are the things that I want to do. I want to roll the dice and take chances and do record-breaking things. And tonight, we broke the Pacquiao pay-per-view number. We broke all I'm doing is breaking my own records. So, but hopefully, I can find the next Floyd Mayweather that can sell 1 million homes, Kevin. Everything takes time, but eventually, we'll find the next superstar.
Hey, Floyd, straight back. Congratulations. Right here, baby.
Oh, hey.
It's Dan Rayfield here.
I know, Dan.
All right.
You write for ESPN, Dan.
Yes,
I've been
sir.
on you forever.
Congratulations on the victory tonight. I wanted to ask you one thing about yourself and one about Conor. First of all, now that your career is over, you say you're going back into retirement. Other than your business interests with Mayweather Promotions and your gentleman's club here in Las Vegas, what other things do you want to do with the rest of your life?
I just want to help these fighters. I look forward to becoming a boxing trainer. Just helping trainers, as far as no different from, my dad is a hell of a trainer. He taught me the sport. And everything that he taught me from day one, I still know, but I want to help just other trainers help make fighters better. I want to go out there and help fighters better and teach fighters about becoming a superstar, not just in the ring, but on the outside. A lot of times fighters think that, oh, I'm undefeated or I'm a knockout puncher. That makes me a superstar. It takes more than that. It takes a lot of work on the outside and surround yourself with the right team to become a mega superstar.
Floyd, my other question for you is, I'd like you to just take a minute and assess Conor McGregor that you saw in the ring tonight. I'd like you to maybe mention about what you felt as far as his power, his skills, and frankly, how you think he might do if he was fighting a regular fighter, not a Floyd Mayweather.
He was solid. I've been off for a couple years, and I'm a lot older now. Remember I told you guys, I'm not the same Floyd Mayweather I was 21 years ago. I told you guys I'm not the same Floyd Mayweather I was 2 years ago. But remember, I still have a hell of an IQ, and I'm still a thinker. So what I did was, and as far as his punching power, he's solid. I felt it before, so that's why I kept coming straight ahead. Obviously, it wasn't the type of power to say I can't come forward, because if it was that type of power, I wouldn't have came forward.
Floyd, just to follow up on Conor, there was a lot of concern coming into this fight that the rules were going to be followed, and it was a little bit rough in times in there. There were some warnings. How did you feel about the way Conor conducted himself in the ring tonight?
I let the referee do his job. I let the referee do his job. I'm not here to bash the referee. But you guys know what was going on. A lot of rabbit punching, a lot. Things happen, but you live and you learn. The referee's a hell of a referee. Conor McGregor's a hell of a fighter. I'm not here to bash anyone. I just went out there to do my job tonight.
I did want to ask, at the end of the 5th round, you did have a little push after the bell. I want to kind of wonder what was going through your head at that point. Was that frustration? Was that to send a message? What was that about?
Get the fans what they want to see. I pushed them and told them, you still ain't knocked me out yet. I thought you said it wasn't going past 4. Show me your real power. That's all. It was, it just, trash talking that, fighters do, whether it's MMA or boxing. We talk trash. That's what we do. When the best compete against the best, we want to be pushed, and that's that's how boxing and MMA goes.
Floyd, of your 50 victories, what in your mind was your most impressive?
Well, every fight played a major key, you know, not just number 50, just to get to this point. You know, a lot of people ask me about Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano is a legend. He paved the way for me to be where I'm at. There's a lot of champions that paved the way for me to be where I'm at. I'm very appreciative, very thankful. And like I said, every fight counts to me, not just one fight, not number 48, not number 49, not number 50. Every fight played a major key in my career.
Can I go?
Floyd, I asked you in Toronto, did anything surprise you in the build-up in like the media tour? I'm going to ask you the same question tonight. Did anything about McGregor surprise you in the ring tonight?
I'll say it again.
Did anything surprise, did McGregor surprise you anyway tonight?
I knew he was going to be awkward from the beginning. But right before we came out, you know, I talked with the legendary trainer, Floyd Mayweather, my father. We talked, and he said, you know, we communicate. You know, when I was younger, you know, when I got older, me and my dad is able to talk. There's a difference between when I'm 21 and I'm 40. Me and my dad is able to have a father-son conversation. We communicated, we talked, and then my dad was in the corner a couple of times, and he wanted more out of me, but he knew the reason why. He knew what I was doing. We talked about it in the back. We said the game plan is let him shoot us low, let him shoot all the hard shots. He's going to try to kill me. He's going to keep switching, keep switching. We'll take our time, shoot hard shots to the body, eventually break him down. We get him around the 6th and the 7th, but he lasted a little longer than we expected, but, you know, I stuck to the game plan.
Floyd?
Over here to your left. Hi, Floyd. It's Rueda with Hollywood Unlocked. So I was wondering, the internet has been going in on Conor for hitting you in the back of the head a few times. He had a few warnings. Did that throw you off at all?
I'm not here to bash anyone. I told you guys what I was going to do. I knew he was going to be a tough competitor. It's about pushing myself. And in number 49, it wasn't good enough. Number 48 wasn't good enough. So I told you guys I was going to come straight ahead for number 50 can be good. I can't be the fighter and the ref. I have to choose what I'm going to be. And a lot of rabbit punching, a lot of hitting in the back of the head, hitting in the back. Once again, I'm not the referee, I'm just a fighter. That's for the referee to do his job. And I told the referee in the back, if you go back and view it, when the referee was in the back with me, I told him he's going to be doing a lot of rabbit punching. And my only concern was hitting me in the back of the head. I said, I want him to keep the punches on the side and in the front. But all the shots was coming to the back. But he's tough. He's a tough guy.
Floyd, did you feel any effects of age tonight?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, it is what it is, you know. I just know that out. You know, I didn't want to slack, and I didn't want to seem irresponsible or not disciplined. So I always you got to sacrifice something to get something. So that's why I've always made sacrifices to get to a certain level. And to get to the pinnacle, you got to make sacrifices, and that's what I did.
Over here. Floyd, I know you said everything went according to plan this night, but was there any point that when Conor pushed you to something you didn't want him to do this night? I mean, do you follow what your comments on what he said, that he made you fall like a Mexican tonight?
Say it again. He wanted to what?
He said over the ring that he made you fall like a Mexican tonight. Did you buy that? Do you agree with that?
Listen, everybody know in this room that's watched me fight, I could have easily outboxed Conor McGregor, counterpunched him all night. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go out with a bang. I told you guys I would come straight ahead. I feel like I owe that to the fans for the Pacquiao fight. Even though I don't owe anybody nothing, I put the pressure on myself and did it myself. And that was a goal of mine. And I told you guys that this fight wouldn't go the distance. Go back and look at all the interviews that I did.
Floyd,
hey.
Chris Ridgway from The Sportsman. First off, congratulations, not just on tonight, but on 50 fights that have gone your way. Congratulations, well played, sir. The people that we've spoken to ahead of this fight, when we've asked them, what chance does Conor McGregor have? How does he beat Floyd Mayweather? And these are other fighters and just fight fans in general. They said one thing Floyd Mayweather's got to overcome tonight is the will of the Irish. Did you feel the Irish presence in the crowd tonight?
I never focus on anything but the guy that's in front of me. Because when it comes down to it, I always said this for many, many years, the fans cannot fight for you. And one thing I know I can do, I can fight. So the fans, when they shout, scream, I don't worry about nothing. I just, keep my composure and stick to the game plan. Constantly keep coming ahead, pushing him back. When he first come out for the first 20 seconds of the round, when he go back to his corner and he sit down, I said when he come out, he gonna come out for 30 seconds and fight hard, and then he gonna break. And once he break, that's when I'm gonna shoot a hard shot to the body, hit him with a hard shot up top, and keep pushing him back. Remember, I told you guys, weight doesn't win fights. Fighting wins fights. And then, when I said talking doesn't win fights, fighting wins fights. Meaning that when we was on when we was on stage for the weigh-in, I don't have to do no more talking. We fighting tomorrow, so I did enough talking on our tour, basically. So everybody said, "Oh, Mayweather, you was talking on the tour." Okay, I did a lot of talking on tour, but now it's time to fight. We're 24 hours away from the biggest fight in the world, the biggest combat fight in the world. There's no need to talk anymore. And remember, all the fans that was here, those are soccer fans. And for the international people, those are football fans. But he's a hell of a fighter. And then, I hear him talking about, oh, you should let me go out on my back or go out on my face. No, the referee saves you because the referee is thinking about your future. Because you're still young, and we want you to be able to fight again someday. So the referee is saving you. He's not saving me. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Floyd, I'll say you sound pretty certain on the retirement this time around, but obviously we've heard that before. So I just want, what is different this time around, and is it a different feeling than previous retirement?
Yes, I did walk away from the sport before. Very comfortable. I didn't have to come back. But, like I said, we do foolish things sometimes. All of us do foolish things. But I'm not a damn fool. If I see an opportunity to make 350 million in 36 minutes, why not? I had to do it. But this is the last one. You guys have my word. I had a great career, a great career. I can't complain about anything, I can't complain about anything, Stephen Espinoza, like I said before, in CBS, they gave me the biggest deal in sports history.
Floyd?
Okay. Hi, thank you. Karen Bryant for MMA Heat. Floyd, you talked about not sparring, and I am curious, right here. Hey, how are you? You talked about not sparring.
I got a sharp mind. I seen you when I walked in over to the left.
Yeah, you did. You looked right at my camera. Thank you so much for that. Okay. It's online already. So you said you didn't spar much for the last month, and then you make the request to have the glove ounce size dropped. So how did that feel to you tonight? Did your punches feel different? Did they feel more powerful? How did that affect your performance, do you think?
Remember, I told you guys this. you go back and look at the last press conference. This is exactly what I said. Remember, you can give it, but I've been hit by some of the best punchers in the world throughout my career. 90% of the time, I'm dishing it out. I told Conor McGregor, this is exactly what I told him. I said, you can dish it out, but you have to be able to take it. The same way you dish it out, you have to be able to take it. Just like when you have children, when you got children, and they joking with each other. One want to joke with the other, but the other don't want. But when one feeling good and the other not feeling good, they not in the mood to joke. So, just like in boxing, most times your big punchers, they can't take it. They could take it early on, but down the stretch, they can't take it.
So my other question to you is, obviously you guys went back and forth a lot during the press conferences leading up, but Conor is always somebody who's noble in defeat. So what was he saying to you inside the ring afterwards? What did he say when you guys exchanged words after the fight?
I just told him, you tough. I told him, you're a tough competitor. Good fight, and keep up the good work, basically. Always want to carry myself like a gentleman, even though, you got to realize when we in the press conference, when we doing what we doing, that's my job. He's the notorious one. I'm the money man. So we got to get a fans what they want to see. When a fan, when we done the press tour, we went to four cities in 3 countries in 4 or 5 days. So when we had arenas like this packed with 20,000 fans, we got to give them a show. And a lot of people thought it was fake. No, we didn't like each other, and we probably still don't like each other, but we still had to act like gentlemen at the end of the day. I can't come here, after making, over 300 million. I'm not finna be like, oh, I don't like you. Good fight, may your career go on.
Floyd, right here in front. Floyd, have you had a chance to talk to your kids yet? And what does it mean to you and your family to have you finally officially retired, and what does that mean to them?
I'm pretty sure they're happy. I'm pretty sure they're happy because they get to see me a lot more. We get to spend a lot more time together, and that's really what it's about. It's about family. I came out here first, to Vegas. Well, my Uncle Roger came out here to Vegas first. And then I didn't even have no plans on moving. Actually, I didn't even have no plans on moving to Las Vegas. I came out here, turned professional at 19. And I can remember when I turned professional, because I always talk about this story, in the dressing room, at the Mayweather Boxing Club. I go in the back, when I went to Top Rank promotion company, when I went inside the office, I looked. And they said, it was talking. Then they moved a piece of paper out the way. Then I seen that check. To myself, I was like, damn, I ain't never seen that many O's in my life. Because I come from poverty. I come from the inner city. The check was only $100,000. But to me, when I seen the check, it looked like 100 million because I'm from the inner city. I never seen those type of numbers. Hood rich to me is, $30 or $40, $60,000. That's hood rich. You hear about it, but when you're actually seeing 100,000, everything Top Rank was saying to me, I didn't hear anything. I just wanted to sign on a dotted line and get the check, and I feel like I was the richest man in the world at 19, receiving $100,000. But I went to the gym. I never slacked. I continued to work hard every day. I never put nothing before I put in my boxing. Nothing. I worked hard, extremely hard every day. My dad still was in prison because, my dad left my life when I was 16. When my dad came back to my life, when my dad came back in my life, I was 21. So a lot of people want to kind of know about our relationship. So it was kind of rocky. When my dad left me, I was basically a teenage kid. When he come back into my life, I'm an adult because I'm paying my own bills. I'm responsible. I got my own house. I got my own car. I got my own everything. So it's kind of hard for us to really get on the same page. He still is the best trainer to ever train me, hands down. Because I beat all these fighters with everything that my dad taught me. There's key things in boxing that I'm just in fighting period that fighters need, and that's why I had to ups on most fighters, is because I done those key things that my dad taught me.
Floyd, right here. Congratulations. You're famous all around the world for your defensive skills, but I was wondering how exciting it was in that 10th round when you were landing one shot after the other just before the refs stopped the fight, that, you know, to let it go, all those, you know, those last shots of your career.
I mean, Conor, of course. I mean, it's like a catch-22. If he didn't get knocked out, I mean, if he hit the canvas, then they would have said, why you guys didn't stop it earlier? Then when you stop it, you're gonna say, oh, I didn't hit the canvas. I mean, you didn't throw a punch for a whole 1 minute and was getting hit with big shots. But like I said, I'm not here to bash Conor McGregor. I'm not here to do that. We done enough talking. I told him before, we both done a lot of talking, you know, a lot of barking. It's time to bite. That was it. Where we at? Yeah, come on.
Here in the back, Salvador Rodriguez from ESPN Deportes. Floyd, here, you're back.
Oh, I know you. What's up?
Yeah, thank you. Floyd, what do you think that this is your legacy in the sport? What is the things that you change in this sport that you show to the young guys? What is your legacy around your career?
Run it by me again?
Yeah, what do you think that this is your legacy in boxing? What do you show to the new guys? What do you change in this sport?
I think, you know, every day, I think even communicating with Steven Espinoza of Showtime, every day we're trying to find that next Floyd Mayweather. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I'm pretty sure Steven was extremely happy when I said, we're going to do this fight. You know, I'm the first one that talked to the CEO of the UFC. One day, I was on the phone with the CEO of the UFC, and I said, yo, me and Conor can fight. And he was like, no, Floyd, not that fight. I don't think he want to fight. But eventually, we made it happen. But as far as my legacy, you know, the most important thing to me about my career is the things that I did on the outside. You know, making the money on the inside, but making my money work for me on the outside. That's the most important thing to me about my career.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, you got right. Yeah, we're gonna let a few more go because that guy came to Girl Collection and gave me an interview. He went to MMA, but he cool. He did support my strip club.
Okay. To your left, Floyd. To your left, right here. Over here, Floyd. Robert Littal, Black Sports Online.
What's up, family?
How you doing, my man? All right, you got it. Thank you. Hold my laptop. I appreciate it. The question that I had for you is, now that your career is over, I was at the gym a couple of days ago. You see Adrian Broner, you see Errol Spence. A lot of these young African-American fighters look up to you, not what you did inside of the ring, but what you did outside of the ring. What are a couple of things that you try to teach these young African-American fighters who a lot of times feel like they are villainized because they're black, to make it not just inside of the ring, but outside of the ring?
Well, when these young fighters get their checks, you know, when they get their checks, we can't think about just right now. You know, a lot of fighters, I was like that but I got the money real young. The 100,000 that was the first check I got, but all throughout that week I got some more checks from Top Rank. So, you know, I think by the time I was 20, probably by the time I was 20, 21, I was a millionaire. But these young fighters want to buy, they see Floyd Mayweather with all the watches, all the diamond chains, all the cars. They have to invest their money. That's very, very, very important. They have to invest their money. And that's what I try to teach them. You know, Floyd Mayweather is able to buy a diamond chain, a car, a house, every month from smart investments. You know, you have to, you know, when I get with my billionaire buddies, I don't get with my billionaire buddies and say, oh, I'm happy to hang in your house. Oh, I'm happy to ride on your jet. You know, I don't say that, oh, I'm happy to ride on your yacht. I say, teach me how you did it so I can have the same thing. So my great-grandchildren can have it. Because I try to teach these fighters that becoming rich, you become rich. Wealth is something that is established to where wealth, when you get millions every month, you know, like myself, making millions every month. But you know, I have to take my hat off to Al Heyman also, because he's a very, very shrewd businessman. He's fucking unbelievable. Al Heyman is unbelievable, and we all know, you know, Al Heyman he don't really like his name mentioned. He like to stay behind the scenes, but everything that we came together and did is remarkable. When I wanted the biggest deal in sports history, him and Steven got together and we made it happen. When, you know, with everything, you know, with all the jets, with the 3 private jets and the mansions all around the world, he was a part of everything, helping me get and reach everything that I wanted to do in life. So, you know what I mean? And a lot of people keep on saying, they think that Sam Watson is Al Heyman. Al Heyman is the guy that's probably in here tonight, but he's probably sitting up there. You know, he like to lay behind the scenes. Hell of a guy, though. Anytime I went to him or I went to Steven, I went to CBS, I went to Showtime, everything that I asked of them, they did. Even like with the Hublot deal. You know, I got on, you know, of course I got on a Hublot right now because I cut a multi-million-dollar deal with Hublot. You know, I made millions and millions of dollars with Hublot just for, you know, less than 30 minutes. You know, I'm talking about millions of dollars. And then also, you know, like I said before, I learned how to work smarter, not harder. No different from this. You know, I got this hat on up here for a reason. And normally you guys would see me with a money team hat on, so you know they had to pay a hefty price for me to have this hat on. So that's just how it works. Where we at? Next question.
How you doing, Floyd? Tony Centeno, Vibe Magazine. Before the fight, you released a 42-track playlist, Hard Work and Dedication. Now tonight, you know, before and after, what kind of records were playing in your ear, aside from the records from that playlist?
On my way, you know, to the venue, what I was playing, everybody always see me on social media with the old school iPod. Because the new school iPod, you're not able to shuffle the songs. But the old school iPod, you can have more diamonds on the old school iPod and you're able to shuffle those songs. But what I'm listening to is I like a lot of old school music, you know, a lot of old school music. Come on in, Connor. I'm listening to a lot of old school music, a lot of old school R&B, a lot of old school rap.
What about that Bodak Yellow?
Who?
Bodak Yellow, Cardi B?
Oh, Cardi B, she's making a mark, you know. She done an amazing job to come from, you know, a cast of loving hip hop to having a big song. She's truly amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, to the podium, I'd like to call up the notorious one, Conor McGregor.
What's up, everybody? Hello. Put my whiskey down, Notorious Irish whiskey. Coming soon. Do I answer questions or do I just rattle on? Rattle on? No problem. It was a good fight. Thought I smoked them the early rounds. I thought I bushed you up the early rounds, but I tell you what, you're one composed individual. You didn't get rattled. You tucked in when you needed to tuck in. I thought you switched up your game plan 3 times. You came out looking to box. I thought you were being outboxed early on. You looked to play against the ropes like you looked to play. You were getting picked off there. And then you came in, hands up towards your forehead, dipped in forehead on the chest, and started to fight that kind of fight. I didn't anticipate that. Three game changes in the fight. That's what a true champion does. Much respect. You came with it. You know what I mean? I got to give respect to that. It was a hell of a fight. I would have liked to see the end of the 10th. I think fatigue, there's like a patch. There's a patch somewhere in the middle of fights, even with the Diaz 2 fight. I have this patch where I must overcome. I get a little wobbly, and I start but it's more fatigue, and I can't, if you look at the Diaz 2 fight, I came through that, came back round 4, round 5. I would have liked to see the end of round 10 and see where it brought us, but hell of a competitor. Switched it up, kept the pressure. You've got to give your hat off to Floyd. A hell of a career. Congratulations. It was a good fight. It was a bit of fun, right? It was a bit of fun. I have to say I enjoyed it. The boxing game is a lot different than the mixed martial arts game from everything, the approach to it. I thought the referee done a great job as well. I do feel it was a little bit early, but I respect his decision, and I thought he done an amazing job. I thought he let the fight flow where it should have flown. I think Floyd's frames were nice. When he throws the shots, he doesn't smother his work, he frames. And early on, when he was framing on me, I was shooking him and taking his back. But I'm like midway through the fight, when I at his back, the referee is just resetting us in the middle, and I'm like, somewhere in the middle of all that, I was like, I'm using valuable energy here to get to this man's back, and then we're just being reset to go again. So it kind of flustered me a little bit, and he was able to capitalize on it. He's very composed, picks his shots very well, bounces shots off himself very well, and hides himself well. You know what I mean? I believe he was hurt a few times, but he keeps his composure. He doesn't show it. So, look, I enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was a fun fight.
Hey, Conor, straight ahead of you here.
Yeah.
Congratulations on a great performance tonight. I wonder if you referenced it a little bit about boxing and MMA are different. Can you kind of expand on that a little bit and explain what you liked about the boxing business and what you prefer about the MMA business?
You know, what? The check is all right. The check's not bad. Very good. But look, I'm gonna try and I've already been raising the MMA check, so don't get it twisted. I'm still gonna raise the MMA checks when I go back there. No, just the whole. It's just a lot more. I don't know what the fuck the difference is, but it's different. It's very different. It's just a little bit more cleaner or something. But I tell you what, I enjoyed it very, very much. It was an honor for me to come over here in the boxing side and showcase my skills. I know there was a lot of disrespect and disregard for my skill. You know what I mean? I'm a multiple weight free fighting world champion. I was a little bit taken back by the disrespect and the disregard that I was shown. In fairness, Floyd and his team never actually showed that disrespect. It was just the overall, everyone else. And it was almost like a little bit of a jealousy thing, so I kind of just got over it. But the disrespect for my skill set was a little bit, you know, it took me back a little bit. But I always knew that when the fight comes around, August 26th, I'm going to show up and I'm going to give a good account of myself. And I thought I'd put him out there, and I went to put him out. And I believe the first couple of shots flustered him, and I hit him a few times, but then he started reading it, and then he started parrying the shots well. He had a good strong parry on his lead hand. He dipped low, caught the body shots well. When he started engaging in his right hand to the body, I thought it was very well. I enjoyed the fight. It was a great contest, and a lot of stuff I'll take with me in my training. That's people ask me what's next. I'm not quite sure what's next. I have multiple titles in the UFC to think about. I could also continue in the boxing game. So what's next for me is continue to study and continue to learn. I'm a student of martial arts and fighting as a whole. I've studied everyone in the game, in all games, including Floyd. And it was an honor to share the ring with him and get up close and personal. I feel I held my own earlier. I feel it was close. I feel 5-4. I feel it was 5-4 into round 10. I would have liked him to get to the bell to see what was what.
Conor, this was the longest fight of your career. Your previous longest.
Oh, that whiskey tastes so good. Oh shit! Notorious Irish whiskey. Come in soon. I don't think I stop for half a second. I'm going to take over the Irish whiskey market. And this is delicious, so keep an eye out for it.
Connor, I was basically mentioning that it was really around the 26th, 27th minute when a lot of the damage started to accumulate and add up. Did you feel that there was some sort of difference going a lot longer than you had previously?
Of course, one of the main things in camp was go from 5 rounds to 12 rounds. That was obviously the main fucking thing. I had to experience that 12-round fatigue. And in the spars, with all my sparring partners, when I do the 12 rounds, there was always those middle rounds where I was like, I'd get to say 6, and then I'd be like, I couldn't see the finish line. I'd be like, fuck, I've got so many more rounds left. And I couldn't see the finish line. But then when I got through them, I got to like round 10, 11, certainly 11 and 12, I could see, okay, there's only 6 minutes left, and I could dig deep, and then I get that second wind. That's why I would have loved it if I could have just got to the end of that 10th round. But the referee, I thought, done a great job. I thought he let the fight play, and I thought Floyd was phenomenal in there. Very composed, very select with his shots. And that's it. We live and we learn.
And Connor, there was also some discussion that your body actually looked a little bit different for the boxing match as it did for MMA. How did you rebuild your body, especially in the midsection for the boxing fight? And how long will it take you to adapt your frame again to come back to MMA?
I think the more you engage in wrestling and grappling, the upper body gets a little bit more blocky, a little bit more full. Whereas when I was engaging in boxing training solely, it was more cardiovascular based, so the body was trimming out. And then obviously I put in the stomach work. I knew they were coming for he was coming for the body. And his straight right hands to the body were nice. They were timed well, they were set up well, and fair play to him. Fair play to him. But I will get back into my jiu-jitsu training. I will get back into my freestyle wrestling training. I will start engaging in my kicking again, and we'll see what's next. I'll also look to adjust and prepare for a fighter that comes in with his forehead first and his hands up. Oh, you know, in camp, I had one sparring partner that fought like that, but everyone else kind of fought in that kind of traditional Philly shell style, or even a little bit more light in the feet or a little bit more back against the ropes. But I only had one sparring partner that actually came and pressed forward. He had a bit of weight on me. And I only sparred him for the first 6 rounds. And then I'd move on to someone else. And I can't help but feel the way the fight panned out and the way Floyd adjusted and I adopted that style. If I'd have had more of him in the later rounds in sparring, I would have been more prepared for that feeling. And I wouldn't have wasted some shots on the guard and on the gloves. And I would have been a little bit better prepared for that.
Connor, it was a fun fight tonight for sure, and I think you proved some doubters wrong. But, of course, you know MMA fans want to know when they're going to get you back in the UFC cage.
I'm young, I'm fresh, and I'm ready. I mean, I was just tired in there, I feel. You know what I mean? He caught me with some nice shots, but I wasn't dazed or rattled or anything like that, so I was just bollocksed, is the term we call it in Ireland. So, we'll see what happens. I'm going to hit, I beat it. A childhood friend of mine is getting married. I'm going to charter out a 100-foot yacht, maybe for a day. Fuck that, paying for the whole thing, the full whack. And just rally it for a day, have a big party on it, take a load of pictures, and then just get the fuck off it. That's probably my plans. And then I'll see what's next.
You built to this over a long time. You saw this. Certainly you wanted to get the win, but what's next? How can you take this to the next level? What's the next vision?
Haven't I? I don't. This was some buzz to come in and face this man and you know, so many doubters, so many, it's never going to happen. Like, even thinking it's never going to happen. Remember that time? This fight is never going to happen. And I always stood like, we can get this fight happen. Then it was like, I'm not going to lay a glove. And there were so many things to overcome. And I just enjoyed the whole experience. So I'm just relishing in it for now. I have many options in mixed martial arts. I'm sure there's options now that will present themselves in the boxing game. Right now I'm a free agent. My name is on the ring. Where is it? There you go. McGregor Sports and Entertainment on the ring, in a boxing ring. That's something to be proud of. And I'm very proud of that. So I'll see what's next. But I'm open. I love competing. I love a good fight. Tonight was a damn good fight. And that's why you're seeing me up here with my head, my heart, you know what I mean? Show my heart. I enjoyed myself. And that's it. Long may it continue, and we'll see what's next. I can't tell you exactly what's next, but no, something will be next.
Connor, Harold Ruiz with Telemundo. You said you saw the fight 5-4 when it was stopped. One of the judges had you winning the first 3 rounds where you were clearly the aggressor and Floyd was studying your style, but the other 2 judges had it 8-1 in favor of Floyd. Does that surprise you a bit?
I think that's very, very biased. I'm actually shocked at that. I thought I won the first 3 rounds clearly. 4th round could be argued either way. We'll say 3-1, and then he took over. He started to take over then, and I thought I snuck in round 8. Then he won 9, and then got the stoppage in 10. So, what was that? 5-4 into the final round, and he got the win. But in reality, all that means nothing. He got the win. Respect to him. I enjoyed it. I thought I done okay. You know, I thought I switch hit it a few times. He was wide to that. I know Paulie was on the phone to him telling him certain movements, but I switched through the lead hook, and he pulled from it a few times beautifully. Then I switched it up and hit the lead to the body. I caught him once or twice with that. But he's a smooth operator in there. He's not 50-0 for no reason. So I just enjoyed the whole process of it. I would have likened to seeing the final bell. I think I deserve to see the final bell, but what can you do? I certainly, you can say what you want. I put in so much work for this. I worked my fucking ass off. Like, I really properly worked my ass off. And there is something like I need to get over. I need to figure out why there is these dips in the middle area of a fight. It happens to me a few times, and I just need to figure it out and keep pushing and keep going and keep striving. I've reached great heights, and I will continue to reach great heights and continue to improve and get better, and that's what it's all about. We compete, we get better, and we come back.
Connor, just to your right, apparently he was hopping, bouncing back home there tonight in Dublin and in Ireland. Obviously, we saw in Las Vegas here, the Irish crowd have travelled in their droves as well. Have you just got a message for your fans back home and the people who have travelled over this weekend?
You know what? We represent ourselves with pride wherever we go. We raise that flag so high and so much. Like, I had a big fur coat. They made me a big fur coat, and it looked like something Ric Flair would have worn. Like a really flashy yoga. Came down and dragged on the back that I was going to wear to the ring. And I was like, you know what? It looks great, but I just want to wear the Irish flag. And I just parked it off and rocked the Irish flag. We're just proud people. We love a fight. We love anyone that can stand toe-to-toe and fight. And that's what we show respect to anyone that comes in and does it. So I'm just very proud of my people and my country, like I always am. It's been a great ride, and long may it continue.
Big round of applause for 2 classic gentlemen.
Great job, Anna. Great work with it. It's open every day of the week up here. It's open every day of the week. I might walk in there, but I might be volatile, and someone might have to restrain me. Great work. So do I stay or go? Or? Chris, back here. Straight back.
Connor? Yeah. Ellie Sekback, ES News, straight ahead. First of all, congratulations on a tremendous performance. Connor, how do you spend $100 million now?
Say what?
You made $100 million. How do you spend it?
Well, it's now we go into the counting phase. We count up the gate. we count up the pay-per-view, we count up the merchandise, we count up the sponsorship revenue. And I sent auditors in there like fucking sharks to count up every single dot. And if we're talking in the 5 million pay-per-view range or 4.6 or whatever the Pacquiao one doing, I'm clearing 100 million. But it's about counting that because there's a lot of sharks in the game, so we're in the counting game now. And that's how I build it up and get that money, and then I don't know how I spend it. Now I've made so many, I've so many ventures that are bringing in nice revenue for me, and I'm building brands, the August McGregor brand, the suit line, and the fashion line that I'm delving into, the whiskey that I'm playing into. Obviously, I have the Mac Life as well. That's operating very well, and then that's not even including any endorsement deals that I have. Like I have many endorsement deals as well. So money is good for me, and you know, I'm very blessed. I'm very happy that I'm in the position I'm in right now. I'm in the stage of forever money. As long as I'm tactical and make smart decisions and don't do nothing stupid, I'm set for life. So I feel I've been in that position for a while, so I just carry on living my life, carefree, with a smart mind, and just enjoy the rest, enjoy life. And see what's next in the fight game, because fighting is what I do and what I enjoy. I get itchy if I don't have a fight.
Connor, right here. A lot of boxing pundits said that you wouldn't land a punch. You obviously landed more strikes than many of Floyd's opponents. Is there anyone in the boxing game that you would like to have an opportunity to box? I know Paulie is in here right now. Is there anybody that you'd like to box in that's still?
Yeah, you know, I'm certainly open. I'm certainly open to hearing what let's say what the Zuffa want, or WME IMG, what they want, and what Showtime want. And if they want me to come over to the boxing game, then we can talk. I'm certainly young, 29 years of age. I don't think the boxing world or the fighting world has seen a man as confident as this come in at this age, and with this amount of accolades and this amount of records and this amount of revenue generated. So I'm certainly open to all options. I have certainly many contenders in the mixed martial arts game. I've a trilogy bout with Nate Diaz that is sitting there. I've options. I'll see what's what. I'm here to fight. I'm certainly fresh. I'm certainly fresh to fight. I was not badly damaged there. It was fatigue. So we'll see what's next. We'll see what offers come on the table. Thank you. Thanks so much, everyone. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Folks, just want to announce